Welcome to Voices of Valor. You're about to hear a story of brotherhood forged in fire, courage that refused to quit, and a friendship that defied the odds of war. This isn't just history, it's humanity at its strongest. If this story moves you, if it reminds you of someone who carried you through your darkest hour, please hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell. Because every veteran's voice matters, and with your support, none of them will ever be forgotten. April 2007. The sun blazed over the dusty streets of Ramadi, Iraq, once the heart of the Sunni insurgency, now a fragile patchwork of checkpoints, patrols, and wary hope. Inside a Humvee rolling through the Al-Anbar province, Staff Sergeant Marcus Delgado wiped sweat from his brow, eyes scanning rooftops through bulletproof glass. At 28, the San Antonio native had already served 2 tours, but this one felt different. Beside him, humming a George Strait tune, was his best friend since ROTC at Texas A&M, Sergeant Tyler "Doc" Evans, the unit's combat medic and only son of a retired Air Force pilot from Lubbock. "You're quiet today, Rook," Tyler said, adjusting his helmet. "Just thinking," Marcus replied. "About home. About your little sister's quinceañera next month." Tyler grinned. "You better be my chambellan man. No excuses." What neither knew was that in 37 minutes, their friendship would be tested like never before. As their convoy turned onto Route Michigan, an IED detonated under the lead vehicle. Chaos erupted. Gunfire cracked from alleyways. Marcus's Humvee flipped. When he came to, dust in his mouth and blood in his eyes, he saw Tyler dragging 2 wounded privates to cover until a sniper's bullet tore through his leg. Marcus crawled through broken glass and burning debris, ignoring shrapnel in his side, and reached Tyler just as the medic lost consciousness. "Hold on, brother," Marcus whispered, tourniquet already in hand. But the real battle had just begun. Enemy fighters were closing in. Radios were dead, and Tyler was fading fast. Marcus knew evacuation could take hours' time Tyler didn't have. With no vehicle, no comms, and insurgents sweeping the area, he made a decision. Carry Tyler to Firebase Steel, 3.2 miles east, through hostile territory. He fashioned a makeshift litter from a Humvee door and dragged Tyler into a collapsed bakery, using rubble for cover. For the next 12 hours, Marcus fought exhaustion, dehydration, and the gnawing fear that his best friend might die in his arms. He used Tyler's own medical kit to pack the wound, whispered stories from their college days to keep him awake, and rationed their last bottle of water. At dawn, a drone spotted them, but the extraction chopper was shot down 800 meters away. Now, Marcus faced an impossible choice: stay hidden and risk Tyler bleeding out, or cross open desert under fire to reach the downed bird. He chose courage, slung Tyler over his shoulders in a fireman's carry, and moved. Bullets kicked up sand around him. His boots blistered, his vision blurred. But every time he stumbled, he heard Tyler's voice in his head. "You the strongest man I know." Rook halfway to the chopper, Marcus stepped on a pressure plate. Not an IED, just a rusted can, but the sound drew fire. He dove into a dry wadi, shielding Tyler with his body as rounds zipped overhead. That S when he remembered the old Iraqi shepherd who'd once given them bread near Fallujah. Trust the land, the man had said. It hides those who respect it. Marcus followed dry riverbeds, used palm groves for cover, and moved only in shadows. By nightfall, he reached the wreckage. 2 crewmen were dead, but the medevac radio still worked. Marcus patched Tyler's leg with helicopter insulation and used the radio to call in a 9-line medevac, but command denied immediate pickup. "Too hot in the AO," came the reply. "Hold position." Marcus's hands shook with fury. "My brother is dying," he yelled into the static. Then silence. He looked at Tyler's pale face, at the photo of his sister tucked in Tyler's vest, and made a vow. "I am getting you home even if I have to walk to Kuwait." He scavenged the chopper, water, flares, a signal mirror. That night he spotted headlights, friendly or hostile. He used the mirror to flash SOS in Morse code. Minutes later, a U.S. Army striker rolled up, led by Captain Amir Hassan, an Iraqi-American officer from Dearborn, Michigan. "We got your signal," Amir said, helping load Tyler. At the field hospital in Ramadi, surgeons stabilized Tyler, but gangrene had set in. They'd have to amputate. Marcus refused to leave his side. For 3 days, he held Tyler's hand, recounting their fishing trip on the Guadalupe River, their failed road trip to New Orleans, the night they got lost in the Texas Hill Country and laughed until sunrise. "You're not losing your leg," Marcus said. "You're gaining a story." Tyler smiled weakly. "Only if you're in it." But the war wasn't done with them. While Tyler recovered, Marcus learned his own unit had been ambushed again this time, losing 3 men. Survivor's guilt crashed over him like a wave. He started avoiding the hospital, sleeping in the motor pool, replaying every decision. "I should have been faster," he told Chaplain Reyes. "Speed doesn't save lives." The chaplain replied, "Presence does, and you were there." Tyler returned to Texas in August 2007 with a prosthetic leg, PTSD, and a medal he didn't want to wear. Marcus came home too, but as a changed man. He struggled with nightmares, avoided crowds, and stopped playing guitar, the one thing that used to calm him. One October evening, he drove to Tyler's family farm outside Lubbock, expecting silence. Instead, he found Tyler teaching kids from the local VA how to ride horses as part of a new therapy program. "Therapy?" Marcus asked. "Horses don't judge," Tyler said. "They just listen." He handed Marcus a bridle. "Now help me with this one." Over the next year, Marcus joined Tyler in building Brothers Ride, a non-profit that paired wounded veterans with rescued horses, using the rhythm of hooves to heal broken minds. Marcus handled logistics. Tyler led sessions. They spoke at schools, testified before Congress about veteran mental health, and even inspired a VA pilot program. But the real test came in 2010, when Tyler's fiancée left him, saying, "I didn't sign up for this war inside our home." Tyler spiraled. One night, Marcus found him sitting on his porch, staring at his service pistol. Without a word, Marcus sat beside him, opened a bottle of Shiner Bock, and said, "Remember that bakery in Ramadi? You told me I was strong. Now I'm telling you, you are too." They talked until sunrise. The next day, Tyler checked into a VA mental health program not as a patient, but as a peer counselor. "If my pain can help one guy not pull that trigger," he said, "it's worth it." In 2024, on the 17th anniversary of the Ramadi ambush, Marcus and Tyler stood together at the National Infantry Museum in Fort Benning, Georgia, unveiling a new exhibit, "The Weight We Carry," featuring the Humvee door Marcus used as a litter, Tyler's prosthetic boot, and the signal mirror that saved them. Hundreds of veterans, families, and active duty soldiers filled the hall. Marcus, now a VA outreach director, spoke first. "Heroism isn't charging a machine gun nest. It's showing up for your brother when the world goes dark and staying with him until the light returns." Tyler stepped forward, leaning on a cane but standing tall. "Marcus didn't just save my leg, he saved my life." Twice. After the ceremony, a young Marine approached them, 22, fresh from Helmand, eyes hollow with unspoken pain. "Sir," he said to Marcus, "how do you keep going when it feels like you're broken?" Marcus looked at Tyler, then back at the young man. "You find someone to carry with you, and you never let go." That night, back in San Antonio, Marcus opened his old duffel bag and pulled out a faded photo. Two young lieutenants, smiling in front of the A&M Corps Center, full of dreams and zero idea of the wait ahead. He touched the glass. "We made it, brother," he whispered. Outside, the Texas wind carried the sound of horses galloping in the distance, strong, and finally at peace. "Welcome to Voices of Valor. You've just witnessed the unbreakable bond between two American soldiers tested by fire, forged in sacrifice, and healed through brotherhood. If you believe these stories of courage, loyalty, and redemption deserve to be told, hit subscribe, tap the bell, and join our mission. Because here, no soldier walks alone, and no act of valor will ever be forgotten.